Hi everybody, thank you for tuning in. I'm just going to be chatting, so not everybody might be interested in this video, but kind of where Yah has been leading me. Last night I did a reading of this Dead Sea Scroll, and I gotta say the Spirit was all over it, and the Spirit was still all over it today. And so much, I really felt like Yah wanted me to retranslate it or put the pieces together, and I really felt like Yah was telling me this is inspired scripture. And I spent all the morning making a cover picture for this project, which I actually think came out really cool. You'll see it on your screen. What you see is a fragment of this actual Dead Sea Scroll that I took from the website, which, you're not allowed to do. And I layered it with an actual picture of Noah's Ark. So this image is true blue. It's pretty cool. So, I don't know. I kind of just wanted to show that off and share it with somebody. It took hours to do that, but anyway, so I've been meditating on this. And I have two versions of the Dead Sea Scrolls that I go by. These are the most authoritative. And I started, reading what these scholars are saying about this fragment because I wanted to know what is going on with this thing. Because I also remembered recently, only a few hours ago, that Yah highlighted this very fragment to me years ago. So, and, I've seen one of our brother's videos. They were kind of not contending, but, rightfully questioning the findings from what I did last night. Like, and one of the questions came up was that there's an idea in these studies, in these Dead Sea Scrolls, that say prosperity leads to sin. And people think, is that biblical or not? And my answer is yes, it is biblical. We see that prominently in the Psalms of Solomon, Psalm 1, right? And which is a prophecy of the fall of the millennial reign. And I think it's because of that why Yah has been highlighting this specific Dead Sea Scroll to me, not just last night, but years ago as well. There's something really significant about this text. And I'm learning about it. And I believe this translation is more authoritative. It goes along the lines of more biblical language. But these studies are more detailed. And so I started reading what these translators had to say about this text. And they connected it with other Dead Sea Scrolls, with the apocryphal Psalms of David. Psalm 151 to be the hymn of thanksgiving to the Creator. And there's something very interesting in this. What I'm trying to get to in my studies in the book of Jubilees, in my studies in these apocryphal Psalms that I have been doing, I was able to figure out what this Dead Sea Scroll says about the flood of Noah is absolutely correct. And it's just a rabbit hole of wisdom that I've just started to unveil. And it's crazy. And it says a lot of things. It says, number one, these apocryphal Psalms were considered scripture. Number two, it also proves that the book of Jubilees at one point was considered scripture. And because all this wisdom is unraveled through that understanding. And I could spend like an hour walking people through it. But you really have to know the extra biblical text, the book of Enoch. Just like the Jubilees account of day one of creation verifies what this Dead Sea Scroll is talking about. That prosperity leads to our sin, and etc. I mean, the words in this text are the wisdom of Yah, are accurate. And it also goes, I just want to share this. There's a video on my channel from years ago that proved this. I don't know. I had to find it. It's buried there somewhere. But when Yah first showed me, I don't remember. I got a word of knowledge from Yah years ago, and a very prevalent word of knowledge, and it shook me to the core, kind of. Well, but it was enough for me to do a video on it, and that was years ago, and I'm sure it's still on my YouTube channel. But he said, Adam and Eve thought they were above reproach. And I know we're going to see the story of Adam and Eve again in our future, in like the millennial reign, for example, perhaps, or maybe beyond. I don't know. It's still a mystery to me. But to me, that really confirms what this Dead Sea Scroll is saying, that prosperity leads to sin. And we do see that because we know the millennial reign will fall. And the Psalms of Solomon, Psalm 1, specifically tell us it's because of prosperity, because Satan is not around. So we're going to get lazy and we're going to be led astray. And, it opens more questions than answers, really. I mean, well, we're supposed to be redeemed from our sin nature. So how is this possible? I agree. I don't know. It is. It's a mystery. I don't know. But, so this is, I'm trying to unravel this because the Spirit is on this Dead Sea Scroll. And these scholars say it's a sermon or a homily. They don't say much about it. This guy doesn't say much about it. It quotes the apocryphal Psalms of David as if it was scripture. And that same psalm quotes the book of Jubilees. The context which is talking about covers a mystery I revealed from studying the book of Jubilees about the creation of day one that the book of Jubilees gives us. And we can discern that through the book of Enoch. So, I mean, I can't just tell people, here's the wisdom that I have, believe me. You have to be intimate with all the text to really see it. So you have to spend time in the text to really understand, like Jubilees, these Psalms of David, and even the book of Enoch, to really understand what I'm seeing, what I'm talking about. But I know it's biblical truth. It is Yah's hidden deep wisdom. And I don't know. So I'm still trying to unravel this. This is where I'm coming from. But anyway, I just wanted to also show everybody, this is the cover image I made, and I thought it came out pretty cool. And I don't know, just thought you guys might enjoy it. So to be continued. I mean, I have all these book projects I want to do, but all I know is I need to learn more. And all I know is what Yah is doing with me is having me learn. It's very difficult here in Long Island with the persecution. You really need distraction at all times. Dead silence is not an option. If you've experienced it, you'll know it. You can't really explain it in the natural. That's the idea behind gang stalking anyway. Those who know it just know it. The silent torment and complete control. Literally your very existence persecuting you. The witchcraft gets to that level. So, and Yah has me in the letters of Paul. I don't know exactly why, but he did highlight the first couple verses to me last night of 1 Timothy, and on the surface, you read it, it's like, all right, this is like an introduction, and Paul wanted Timothy in Ephesus while he stayed in Macedonia. And when you look up what Ephesus was and the meaning of Ephesus, it was like a place of learning, and or so, I don't know, but to me it just made sense when I was focusing on it. And for me, I feel like he's walking me through a process, and so I don't know, that's kind of my thing. That's where I'm at. So I just wanted to share. I'm just kind of rambling. And yes, it's frustrating. I'm obtaining wisdom that it's very difficult to share with my brethren unless you really get intimate with all the texts, you know? Unless you spend. So if you're not intimate with Jubilees, if you're not intimate with the book of Enoch, if you don't have all that accumulative knowledge over time, you probably won't be able to receive it. But I'm telling you, the Spirit was all over this specific Dead Sea Scroll. And I believe he was telling me that it's scripture. It's not any, it's not a sermon. It's not a homily. This is a scripture, and it might be a prophecy. It might be pertaining, it's relevant because what we're going to have to deal with in our future. But I don't have all the answers. I'm still studying this out. So it's really exciting, really amazing. So, all right, guys, I'll let you go. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just sharing my walk. All right. God bless you.